Peace, y'all. Before we get started, I felt compelled to remind everyone to stay safe and stay abreast of all the atrocities happening around the world. The people of Palestine, Tigray, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and countless other territories are currently fighting for their rights and their lives. And if you're choosing to take action, please take every precaution you can. Stay hydrated, stay in groups, cover your face, and please, more than anything, don't lose hope. I've been leaving links to organizations and resources at the bottom of every episode description for a good minute, so please go check those out for places to donate and to find ways to take action today. We're not free until all oppressed people in the States and abroad are free. Much love, stay strong. Now let's keep this shit moving. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is New York rapper JUNECINEMA. We spoke about Downtown 81 and our mutual love for Basquiat, where his name came from, the Lion King movies, Treasure Planet, the pros and cons of going to concerts, being inspired by Tyler the Creator, and the creative process behind his 4 projects from this year: Alchemy with Chow and his recent deluxe edition, Pure Magic with Alikho Igama, and Perseverance is one half of the duo JUNECINEMA. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. I don't know what time it is, but my name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit outside, inside, all sides. Another beautiful, warm November day. A little scary, but cool. You know, we're here, we move. It's been a good but weird week. I feel emboldened by the community that we've all surrounded ourselves with, and I know where I'm going when the zombie apocalypse or like the MAGA apocalypse happens, so I'm straight. But I'm with somebody else who's also prepared and moves around. Why am I doing this like this? I already know what I want to say about this guy. So there's not a single show that I go to in New York City where I don't see this nigga right at the front row of every single show, singing lyrics back to people. This is somebody who's outside, present, active, fucking dangerous. Like, this man's a rapper by himself. He's a rapper with a rapper and producer that some of y'all might know named June, formerly known as Sean May. He's one half of JUNECINEMA. He's one of the newest signees over at Every Deja Vu. He's got a fucking purple bonnet on. Y'all can't see that,
now.
but it's JUNECINEMA, man. We finally fucking got JUNECINEMA in this motherfucker.
Made it happen. Oh man, Real Notes. This is crazy. Whoa.
God
peace,
damn.
peace.
Come on, peace, man. Thank you. I mean, like, normally I tell people thank you so much for being here, but thank you so much for putting up with my scheduling bullshit and me fucking up the scheduling the
not
first
even,
time.
Not even, yo. Not even. All good, yo. All good. All fucking good. Thank you for having me on. This is crazy.
Come on, man. It's been such a long time coming. Like Alchemy is great. Perseverance is great.
Thank you.
Like it's all like all of this shit is great, man. So it's been really cool to not just see you, you know, just like pushing yourself musically, but just to like, you're active, you know, like you're like outside in a different way than most people. And I think that's I see a lot of, like, as somebody else who's pretty active and all over the place, I see a lot of value in that.
Absolutely.
So, you know, like
absolutely, for real.
So man, let me ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is what was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
You know, it's funny, despite the name cinema, I'm not really a watcher. I really don't watch much shit. But no, I remember the last shit that really struck me. It's funny. It's a movie called Downtown 81.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fictional about Basquiat. I saw that shit because one of my homies was like, yo, you need to watch this. And they're just like, damn, like, it's just crazy because considering how like I felt kind of relatable to this shit about like how it went on. And just looking at New York in that time, comparing to New York now, like I'm in a lot of those areas where the movie was shot, and it's like, damn, like this shit is now looks completely different 40, 50 years later, but a lot of the same sentiments and value was still around despite all the changes, despite all the gentrifications. Like niggas are still pushing despite it
Yeah.
all. But yeah, still, regardless, dope movie, dope movie.
Yeah, nah, definitely a crazy example of like more things, the more things change, the more they
More
stay the
shit is
same. Like
for
it's
real.
I love the idea. Well, I don't always love the idea, but I'm always interested in the idea of like real icons and like real people playing like fictionalized versions of themselves. It's part of the reason why Nicolas Cage made a movie like that within the last
Mm.
couple of years called oh, the something weight of self. Oh, fuck, I can't remember what it's called. But either way, like that, but you know, like he did that, and like that just kind of painted him in a slightly different way. But like, did you have a relationship with Basquiat and his work before you watched that? Because I mean, like the New York thing's already evident, but like, what
Right.
about Basquiat himself?
I wouldn't say I had a strong relationship with Basquiat, truthfully. I mean, of course, inspired by him, his ideals, the way he carried himself, the way he was
Right,
all art, the way he basically essentially sacrificed everything and put all his chips into art and made it work and persevered. That's all inspiring. I mean, but yeah, I guess I would say, yeah, I have a connection to Basquiat. I mean, who isn't an NYC creative who doesn't look up to Basquiat? If you don't, I feel like you're kind of weird for that. Like I feel like that's
right,
kind of you. Like you have to look up to Basquiat, considering who he is, what he's done, and how he's still relevant years later. That's someone like we're trying to be. We're trying to be at that kind of pedestal.
yeah, yeah. Nah, like it's always so dope to see the way his work is kind of lived and survived through, you know, like the decades and decades. I mean, like like the most prevalent example to me is the Makami cover, like Pray for
Right,
Haiti. Like that's just a Basquiat they threw the fucking Haitian flag on,
right.
which was which like I just to this day I still love that. Like I just love the idea of like I'm gonna just take this classic piece of art and like throw one extra thing on it
No,
and like
for
boom, that's
real.
my cover. Like,
Giving it
you
a new
know,
purpose, giving it a new meaning, and then
yeah.
someone's gonna see that and then do their little research, and then boom, and now, yeah, all that shit is awesome. All that shit is
Right.
awesome. That's why I love
And like,
sampling so much too. Same
yeah,
shit,
you
same
know,
shit.
and like I feel like I don't want to speak for him because I feel like too many people speak for him, but
Right,
I
right.
feel like I feel like that would be the kind of thing that he would probably love and appreciate.
Yeah,
Like just, you know, like that subversiveness of like sampling and just like taking just like flipping shit into your own thing. Like that just seems like a very like he'd be like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah,
sure."
absolutely. Go right ahead.
Like,
Right.
yeah. How'd you but like before we move on, talk to me a little bit more about the movie Downtown 81 and like how you felt about it. You know, like even outside of just like comparing the different eras in New York.
Yeah, nah, I felt real just inspired by it. I remember, because the person who sent it, he's an artist named Alikho Igama. Me and him have a project also called this year called Pure Magic we dropped, and that movie was
Mm-hmm.
essentially kind of the background of it. We took a lot of pieces from it and put into the project. But nah, it was real inspiring because I remember when I watched it, I was at a real uninspired, real kind of burnt out time of my life. And again, just seeing just the magic behind it. That's kind of like what I took from the movie. Like everything is magic. What you're doing is magic. You have all the possibilities to create the world you want. And
Right.
that's kind of what I took out of it. And I feel like because when did I watch it? I watched it I think last October 23, around this year, probably around this time. Yeah, and I think that's how I really approach this year in general. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want, bro. What's stopping you
Right.
from doing this show in different states? What's stopping you from meeting this artist and building these connections? I think I
Yeah.
took a real leap of faith this year in terms of just doing more shit than usual. And I probably that movie was definitely a big reason for that, I would say.
That's crazy. Yeah, nah, like what's stopping you from dropping 3 projects in a year?
You know,
You
like
know?
who's
Like
stopping you, bro? Literally. Who cares? Like just do it.
right. So like before we get into like the older stuff with you, I wanna so like talk to me about the name J Cinema. Like since you're not somebody who watches shit, like
It's
talk to
so
me about
funny.
the name J Cinema.
Right. It's so funny fucking talking about this. So I didn't start rapping until I got into college. Before that, obviously I was a fan of hip hop and shit like that. But it was always something that just seemed too unrealistic for me. But once I got into college, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I entering the game late, not really having an idea of myself. I'm like, damn, what would my name be? Because I'm not gonna use my real name. I have a real Caucasian name. I'm not gonna use my real name to rap. I was like, what can I do to kind of just be me, you know, and create a personality? So I remember my first name was J Wave. Dude, that'd be wavy, like a wave file. Because at the time I had waves and shit too. So it was gonna be a whole gimmick and shit. And then I'm like, I remember I signed up for like BMI and shit under that name. I was like, it's official.
Wow.
Didn't drop anything on that name though, thank God. I was like, this name is fucking stupid, bro. I was like, don't do this shit. But anyway, how I got cinema though, I remember this is some weird corny shit I used to do. Cause I was like 18, 19, just being like, oh man, I need to be inspired. I used to go down artists' Instagram pages, like to their first post. So someone like Tyler, the Creator, he probably had like 500 posts back then. I would scroll all the way back down to 2012, 2013, be like, damn, bro, he was posting bullshit. And then now he's doing this, that, and the third. This was around when Brockhampton was first blowing up. And who isn't an awkward black boy that wasn't inspired by Brockhampton back then? I remember going on Kevin Abstract's Instagram doing the same shit. And his at the time was Kevin Cinema. And I'm like, that cinema shit is kind of fire. And I was like, just thinking of like, you know, little adjectives, little phrases I could put under next to J. I was like, J Cinema is fire. And what I took from it at the time is how I wanted to approach rap back then. I wanted to become more of a storyteller, kind of, you know, J. Cole-ass 3-minute verses, 2 hooks, every song type shit. That's kind of rapper I wanted to be back then. And I just thought the name cinema was just like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to paint pictures. And I think I still do that to a lot of the degree. I feel like a lot of what I say, you can really visualize. And yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure you can really visualize and create a world that you can build. And
I see what
like,
you mean.
Yeah. And I was like, cinema just works. I was like, that makes sense to me. And again, I like the name. I was like, this sounds like a name a 90s rapper would have. I'm like, that's fine.
Right. Yeah, nah, it just sounds good and it feels good. And like,
you know,
like I was re-listening to the song with Jade from the Deluxe, and like the way y'all's interplay works on that song, like it's like very easy to see the two of y'all just kind of going back and forth and like what you're bringing out. And I know you could say that about your older stuff. You could say that about like Alchemy and Pure Magic and everything. Like it's like, yeah, no, this just is tight. So let's let's take it all the way back with you for a second. What's the first movie experience you can remember having, son? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. First thing that comes to mind.
So for that, I have 3 answers that come to mind when you ask that. I get Finding Nemo. Yeah, Finding Nemo. I remember seeing, I forgot what movie theater, but I remember me and my mom seeing Finding Nemo around the time when he came out and just being like, wow, this movie is fucking awesome. Crying and shit, just relating to Nemo being lost and all that and wanting to explore, being young. I'm like 4 or 5 years old, but I'm like, I get you, bro. Like, I get you. You feel caged in. Finding Nemo. I said 3 of them. Damn, Shrek came up too. I remember seeing Shrek, just being like, wow, holy shit, Eddie Murphy is the best dude of all time. Treasure Planet was a big one for me.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Nobody talks about Treasure Planet.
And that's like the best movie ever. Oh my God. Hey, I love Treasure Planet. I would big Treasure Planet up all the time. Just again, there's a whole movie but of adventure and traveling and finding yourself. I'm realizing, holy shit, that movie is a big reason why I'm this way as well. Like just wanting to be free and just doing shit and seeing different shit and being with different people and just fucking this life. That shit. And I said one more, but that's good enough, I think. Yeah.
No, I want to.
I'm sorry, but I got to shout out Lion King. I got to shout out Lion King. Hell yeah. That's number
Classic,
1,
bro.
Yeah, Lion King, and Lion King 1.5 though. That shit was fire too. Timon and Pumbaa, that's fire. I remember having an interactive DVD and shit. They had games with it, and I was like, "Holy shit, bro! Like, what is going on? This is nuts."
I miss a good DVD menu. I think about that shit all the time.
It's like lost artifacts for real.
Yeah, like, but I'm happy you brought up Lion King 1.5 because people don't really know about Lion King 1.5. Like,
they sleep.
It's like for anybody who doesn't know, like Lion King 1.5, it was just the whole first Lion King told entirely from Timon and Pumbaa's perspective. It was great. It was kind of
Right.
like because Timon and Pumbaa, they had their own show in the '90s
Hmm.
that I loved. I used to like back in like the Toon Disney days. I used to run up reruns of that shit all the time. It was great. But like that was I don't know, like I'm like the Lion King's a classic. I feel like everybody around our age and maybe a little older and a little younger
Right.
remembers, like, it's a fucking, like, that's one of those like milepost moments for me. But like
Right.
like kind of having it recontextualized in like a sillier way, considering how serious the movie is. Like
Right.
it was like a cute
Exactly.
idea for them to just twist it up like that. But talk to me about Treasure Planet, because
Man,
like,
bro.
yeah, that's a deep cut.
That's a classic. It's funny because I haven't seen it in years, so I really honestly couldn't tell you the plot. But
Yeah, that's fine.
I just remember this the main thing again when you said like name movies that the first movie experience. I remember just Treasure Planet, just the colors and obviously the animation. People still bring up how like it's so unique for the time. I just remember everything just felt just so different from everything else. You know, it's like it was super cartoony, but still super serious. So many beautiful colors, all the different shapes, all the different characters in it, the different aliens. Yeah, it's just Treasure Planet. It just reminds me of just I don't even know. It's just beautiful. Like that and Kingdom Hearts is just beautiful. Like when I think the word beautiful, I think Kingdom
Mm.
Hearts and Treasure Planet because there's so much going on. There's so much you can just capture onto and just be stuck onto. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just a beautiful movie.
Damn. See, you just reminded me that I always wanted a Treasure Planet level in a Kingdom Hearts game, but
Right.
we never
Yo,
but we never got one,
I don't know.
because like the movie made like no money, and
Right.
Disney was pretty upset about it. So they I think they were trying to make a sequel, and they wound up canceling the
Mm.
sequel. And I think they I think they might have tried to merchandise it, and the merchandising did it was just one of those where it was like it connected with the people who it connected with, but everybody else was like, we don't care about this. So they just kind of kicked it to the back. Like,
Mm.
nobody ever references it. It's not at the parks. It's not in the games.
Nah, seriously though.
Pretty. It's pretty sad. Like, once again, a movie I haven't seen in years either. I can't sit here and tell you exactly what happens in it, but just like the idea of like steampunk Treasure Island, like that
Right,
was like,
right,
yeah, like steampunk pirates and robots and fucking, like you
right,
said, the colors, like the little pink
right.
globby sidekick thing. I don't know, like just like the whole aesthetic was just super fire. It was
Super, super
also
fire.
it was like definitely one of my first experiences with the idea of steampunk too.
Right,
Like that,
for
like that
sure.
definitely was like, oh, like that, like that inspired me to like even go and figure out what steampunk was.
Mm.
Like depending on how young I was, but like or like maybe I didn't go look into it at that point, but like
Right, right, but
it
of
was
course.
definitely like my first exposure of like that's what steampunk is.
Yeah.
So like it's like that. And there's another one I always think about in conjunction with that one. It's you ever hear of Titan AE before?
Yes, I never seen it, but yes,
Oh,
yes.
yo, I have the DVD sitting over here. I watched it for the
Oh my
first
God.
time in like 20 years, like a year and a half ago. It's honestly, like, I don't want to call it a classic, but definitely slept on, definitely like a good movie in its own right. Like they for real just made like if it weren't animated, it would just be
Mm.
like your average run of the mill fucking like PG-13 rated like sci-fi movie about like a planet that gets destroyed, and they're like the fact that it's like like they took it so seriously. It's not like there's comedy in it, but
Right.
it really does feel like there's no reason that they animated it other than the fact that they just thought the contrast was dope, which, like,
Mm.
I'm into that. But to me, Titan AE is almost like the serious counterpoint to something like Treasure Planet, that's like really kind of like fantastical and colorful and out there. And
Right.
they made something that was like, I don't know that I'd call Titan AE grounded. Just anybody listening, like, and you too, bro, like go find Titan. Like,
Yeah,
it's
nah, Chinese.
once again, it's not amazing. It's not going to change your life, but like it's cool, Like, I kind of wish people would take more of a chance on like serious animation like that, you know. Like it was yeah. Like I'm gonna have to go dig through it and watch it one more time. But yeah, no. Shout out to Treasure Planet and to
Shout out
Titan
to Treasure
AE.
Planet. Word facts.
God damn. So like as you get older and you start to you start to have more experiences and refine your palate and develop your tastes and shit. I like to think of this as a capital M movie. Like, what was the first movie you saw that really connected with you in like an artistic or spiritual or emotional sense? Like, just like something that was
Yeah.
more than 90 minutes of entertainment type shit.
Right. First movie that comes to mind, I think, is Friday. Just
Oh
seeing,
man.
just seeing Black. Cause it was either Friday. No, damn, was it Friday? It was either Friday or Juice. One of those two. I want to say it was Friday though. I feel like it was Friday. But yeah, I remember just being like 10, just being super young. Like I should not be watching this. But yeah, just seeing Black people in that light in California at that, seeing how their day to day goes by, and just seeing like just how real shit is. Like this is
Yeah.
actually what goes on. Like this happens right now. Like this whole scenario is happening right now. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend. I'm not gonna get too in this business, but I'm like, he's going through a fucking Smoky Friday scenario in life right now. It's like this is real. Like I wish I was joking, but
No, man, nah. Free him, son. That's
free
awful.
my guy, free my guy. But it's crazy because like that's real though, and like looking back at something like Friday again, like seeing that when I was super young, and it's like, damn, I can still see parallels to life now. And to all those
Yeah.
movies, Juice, Menace to Society, Do the Right Thing, Boys in the Hood, is like those movies made a super impact on me, seeing them being like 12, 11, 10, when I probably wasn't emotionally mature enough to really get it, but seeing it at that age and being like, oh man, like this is real for people like us. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah. And like,
again, I'm sorry.
no,
I'm sorry. I
no,
didn't
no,
mean
no,
to
you're
cut
good.
you off. Because I just
You're good.
remembered I'm lying. It was actually the Roots. Because I seen Roots when I was in third grade. I was like, why are we watching this, bro? We're like 7 or 8. Like, this is a lot. But again, like, this is history. This is what happened to us. It's like, yeah, just yeah. Like I'll never get seeing the fucking Kunta Kinte moment. I'm like, bro, I'm 8 years old. Like, what is going on? I'm looking at my classmates like, yo, we seeing the same shit, bro. Like,
Right.
but that was needed at that time for sure, though.
Yeah. Damn. I'm trying to think of the first time I saw Roots was definitely in school too. It might have been, maybe it was middle school. I can't remember. But the
Mm,
but like outside of like the like the whole your name is like everybody knows that your name is
right.
Toby scene. The ones there's the one scene I always remember is when they do the time jump and
Yeah.
he's been broken in. He's
Yes.
like he's kind
Oh
of like
my
forgotten
God.
everything, and then like
Right.
you get to the scene with like what I mean, like his
Mm-hmm.
daughter grows up and she realizes like, nah, this shit isn't right. Like we
Right.
need to we kind of like need to fight back on this. The one scene that always comes back to me is when Toby Kunta Kinte dies, and
Mm,
she winds up going to his grave,
mm-hmm.
and it's written like Toby's written
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
grave,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Mm-hmm.
scratches
They
it
should
out and
scratch
writes
that
Kunta
shit off.
Kinte and
Like,
leaves, and I was just
yeah. That's yes. I was like, hell yeah. What?
yeah.
Yeah, bro. What a movie. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's just powerful as hell. I bought my pops Roots on DVD one year
Mm-hmm.
for his birthday,
Yeah.
so I have it somewhere around here, but
Right.
I can't remember exactly where it's at. But Friday. So Friday is, I mean, like everybody loves
Classic.
Friday.
Yeah, classic.
I don't know
Classic.
I don't
Come
know a
on
single
now.
person who doesn't fuck with Friday.
You gotta have problems. You don't like Friday. Like, what's your
Yeah,
issue, dude?
like the thing I love about Friday so much is like, like you said, like it's very real, but at the same time, it's it's basically just like a slice of life movie. Like you get
Yeah.
to meet the neighbors, like
Right. Right.
like there's a story, like like everything going on with Craig and Smokey, but you get to see the neighbors, you get to meet Stanley, you get to meet Miss
Exactly.
Parker,
It's
you
world
get
building. Yeah.
yeah, like and it's so effortless and so natural. Like it's not like like you could tell they put a lot of work into it because it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel like they put a lot of work into it, which is
Right.
like like it's funny and dramatic and serious when it needs to be, but just like it really does feel like I could like go outside right now and run into
Exactly.
like everybody knows a Craig, everybody knows a
Right.
Smokey, everybody knows a Debo, everybody knows a Felicia, everybody knows like I could sit here and name every character in that
Exactly. It's
movie.
universal. It's a universal
Right.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like like everybody knows that like once I'm gonna be here all day naming characters. But like Friday,
Right.
like and like I watched it again recently too. Well, like not too recently, but within like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like just, I don't know. It's just one of those things you could throw on. Like, there's always going to be something funny about it. Like, I
Exactly.
always like even the scene where John Witherspoon's giving Ice Cube the talk about the
Right.
gun and like the fists and everything. Like,
It's
even like
like,
that. Like I'm older now. Like that shit does hit
right.
a little different, and like I don't know. It's just like everything about it works. Like that's like to me, that's like the best version of exactly what it's trying to be. Like it's like damn
Mhm.
near a perfect movie.
That's what I'm saying. I was about
Like
to say that, like, it checks all the boxes. Like, what more would you need in a movie? Like, you can
right.
say like for what it is and what it's supposed to be. It's the benchmark for those kind of movies. I would say.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if F. Gary Graves made a movie that good like for the rest of it because like
Nah.
he's made a lot of great movies. Like if I remember correctly, I think he made The Italian Job. He made a couple Fast and Furious movies. He made the NWA movie that
Right.
I have. It's a good movie, but I have some
Yeah.
issues with it. And
They all do.
yeah, but like it's I don't know. Like to me, like that's his defining work as a
For
filmmaker. And
sure.
I know it was early on, and it's kind of like unfair to keep people in that box, but like,
Yeah, but
bro,
still,
like that it's a perfect movie. There's nothing wrong
there's
with it,
nothing wrong with it. You can put it on at any time, like literally any time. It's like you're gonna find something to take from it. Yeah, hell no. That's a
Yeah.
perfect movie. That's a perfect movie.
God, I might actually watch that before I go to sleep tonight. You got me fucked up, son. But but nah, let's do the same thing with music one time. When
Ooh.
did music become capital M music for you? Like, was there ever like I'm trying to figure out different ways to ask this question because but like was there ever a period of time when music was passive for you and did that change? Like like not even in terms of wanting to make music, but just like when
Yeah.
did you first become fascinated by music?
Yeah, and I definitely understand what you're saying. That's a very easy question for me because music was real passive for me when I was younger, which is real funny. I remember it was just something that was in the background and shit. I remember my mom played a lot of Alicia Keys, a lot of Beyonce, a lot of Jay-Z. When he came around, she played a lot of Drake. But yeah, it was just something where I'm just like, I can't relate to this shit. That was the thing. Like, even I remember being younger when Soldier Boy came around and my
Yeah.
friends started playing Wayne, they started playing Nicki and shit like that. I'm like, what are they even talking about though? like, bro, we're like 8. They talking about money, rims, hoes. I'm like, bro, I just want to play my Legos, bro. I'm trying to play Lego Indiana Jones. Like, what? I remember a big thing was Lupe though. I remember hearing Kick Push and being like, oh, okay,
Right.
like this is a cool song. He's talking about skateboarding and shit. Obviously, I'm young. I'm not really paying attention like that. But I remember Kick Push being like, I like this. Kick Push. I remember Mac Miller, Blue Slide Park era. I remember like having some
Hmm.
appreciation to that. But what really got me into music was Tyler Creator.
Yeah.
Because I'm also from Yonkers, New York. I grew up in Yonkers. So when that shit dropped, it was just like we were like, what the fuck is going on? So I remember my friends at that time, obviously were young. So the rappers we knew was Jadakiss, Styles P, DMX. But again, they're older, so we can't really latch on to them. I remember not knowing who the hell Jadakiss was as a kid. I remember like being in the park being like, yo, that's Jadakiss. I'm like, who? Like, why do we care? But yeah, but just when Tyler came along, it was just the perfect point in my life to have Tyler, especially being just kind of having identity issues, kind of having real starting to questioning life and shit like that. And then hearing someone like Tyler come along is being flagrant as hell, dressing the way he looks, sounding the way he looked. I found myself in him. So yeah, 2011 was when music became like life, and then after Tyler, listening to Earl, Damo, Frank, and then listening to Kendrick, J Rock, Soul, then it all spirals down.
Man, like shit. Do you remember like I don't know if you ever heard the story, but Tyler talked about I mean like I'm sure we all know at this point that Tyler made the Yonkers beat like real fast.
Just fucking
But he's
around, yeah.
but he said specifically that
It
he
was a
made it sound
Jadakiss,
like a Jadakiss song.
Jadakiss
Yeah.
me, yes, bro. It's fucking
Like
cool, bro. I
yeah,
remember, I
it's
remember we were young, like, yo, is he from Yonkers? Like, who is he? Like, I remember niggas was saying that, bro. Because we honestly, this is before like social media was super big. So we're all just
yeah.
talking to ourselves, like, nah, we saw him driving around in Yonkers. Like, no, you fucking didn't, bro. What are you
Stop.
lying for? We were all convinced he was from Yonkers for like 2 years. Like, bro, get out of here.
That's hilarious.
It's super hilarious.
I was in college. I was in college when OF blew up. I was a
Mm,
sophomore. I'll never forget it. I heard T on Martians versus Goblins, this game song with Wayne on it. And
Yes.
then right after that, I heard Yonkers, and I was like, oh, I'm in. Like I
Right.
was like, this is like I was like, I love this, and dug into OF. I found Earl's old I found Earl's
Mhm.
first tape. I found, like you said, like Damo shit, like all like the Under the Influence and all that shit, like and just like really. I mean, like I was already kind of into music, hook, line, and sinker at that point.
Mm.
I had been into music for years, but like that was like, you know, them coming around when they did really did feel special. It didn't feel like anything else. It, like, if you look at Tyler shit, it still doesn't feel like nothing
Right.
else. Like,
At
you know, like
all.
for people who don't know, I reviewed Chromacopia. Go read it. I'm gonna put the link at the bottom. But like but like for whatever issues I have with that album, which like I don't have many, like I really like the album, but like he's been doing this for 15 years and he
Insane.
doesn't sound like anybody.
It's
Like,
insane.
especially as a producer, like his, you know, like his production sensibilities, however, I mean, like you can like him or dislike him, whatever, but there's nothing that sounds like Sticky. There's
Right.
nothing that sounds like Take Your Mask Off. There's nothing that sounds like Ratata. Like he just like Tyler always comes at this shit. Like he's always like, he prides himself on making traditional songs out of non-traditional parts.
Mm.
And it's really fucking insane how he manages to do it and make it recognizable as like, oh, this is this type of song, this is that type of song, but it just sounds like him and no one else. So
Right.
I can't take that away from him ever. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so you know, like I was also definitely inspired by Tyler and them around that time, and I still have a bunch of like old OS shit hanging
Jesus.
around
Oh
here.
my God.
I got the fucking Wolf CD that came with the Slater patch. I have that
Wow.
on the back. I have that on the side of a hat on my wall
Wow.
over there. I got this big fathead sticker of Tyler that came with a vinyl. Yeah, like
Mm.
I've been OF to the fucking socks for a goddamn decade. So I feel you.
It's so crazy because they really set like the standard. I feel like everything everyone is doing is to chase what Odd Future did. At least like from my
Yeah,
perspective. So I was just someone who like came up as a kid when they were blowing up. But so I
right.
look at like what all of my friends are doing with other artists, and I'm like, we're just trying to be like Odd Future in our own way, of course, doing it different. But they
Yeah.
really set the blueprint. I feel like for my generation at least.
Yeah, man. It's really wild to me to see because I mean, like, I remember when we started approaching like the 10th anniversary of like the OF Tape Volume 2,
Mm.
and I really started thinking to myself, like, these guys were like Wu-Tang, you know,
Right,
like
right. They were
like
Wu-Tang.
it didn't feel ridiculous to say that because like there were so
Exactly.
many other people who, like, obviously like Wu-Tang is Wu-Tang. Like they're one of like they're one of, if not the most iconic rap group to ever exist. Like
Right.
everybody on planet Earth knows who Wu-Tang is. But like I feel like Odd Future is the next kind of like collective that really stuck to the consciousness in a similar way. Like it's different for obvious
Of
reasons, you know, like
course.
Wu Tang didn't have the internet when they were first starting, and they weren't like skate punks, and they didn't have this, like, Wu Tang crossed over, but they crossed over in a different way than OF
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But like there's still a lot of parallels,
Right.
and you know, just like, especially considering the different, not even just the different directions they all splintered off into. Like Tyler doesn't sound like Earl. Damo doesn't sound like whatever the fuck Haji's doing. Like Mike G's off
Right.
in his corner. I hope Left Brain comes back out of
Right.
retirement or whatever the fuck. Like Sid's got the internet,
And that
you know,
right.
like fucking Taco's acting,
So
Lionel's
many
acting,
branches.
Jasper's acting, like, you know, like
That's crazy.
they you know, it's all I know is when they make the documentary in 10 years,
Man.
I'm gonna be front and fucking center.
Shedding tears.
You
They all be shedding tears. And it's so crazy because how kind of short they was as well, honestly, and like in the full
Yeah,
scheme of things. The first After tape was what, 2007? They broke
yeah,
up in 2015. Like not even a real full decade of them being an established group. Like that's it's
right.
crazy to think what they could have accomplished.
Yeah, no, and then even considering like they didn't blow up until what, 20,
Right.
I mean, like, I'm like Bastard was what, like 2009, 2010.
2009, yeah.
You know, so like you see like things. It was like Bastard and Earl that really set it off.
Right.
And like so, you know, like they were only together for like barely 5 years
Barely 5
before
years.
it was before, you know, like they went off and did it. And like they clearly all still have love for each other, which is great
Right.
too. It's just, you know, like
Right.
you get older, you start to drift apart. Like that's just kind of the nature of that's just part of growing up, unfortunately. You just like
Yeah.
lose touch with your people. But you know, like it makes perfect sense. Like I see what y'all are doing, and like I see the OF influence everywhere.
Right. Right.
And
Everywhere.
it makes me so happy. Like what so you know, like for you, when did I just realized I haven't asked this question in a while. So I'm gonna so now I'm gonna ask this. When did you first consciously link film and music together in your head? Like when did you realize
Oh.
those were two things that go together? It could be for any reason too. There's like a
Yeah.
billion I could think of. But
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say associating Juice with that only because every time I think of Juice, I think about the Rakim song "Know the Ledge" and just the scene
mhm.
of it is like that encapsulates the movie to me. Like I feel like you can just put that scene on, like this is what Juice is about, bro. Like niggas is trying to make it out, niggas is turning on each other. This is a horror movie now. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yo, my fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all-new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early, day-before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm gonna be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking.
but yeah, I think that's kind of the first time I've really linked music and film together and seen like they can go together. You know, you can really paint a beautiful story with just a scene in a certain song and how you can connect to it.
Yeah. Yeah, like even the scene when Bishop is chasing Omar Epps into the
Right.
elevator. He's like, "What you gonna do,
Exactly.
Bishop? Shoot me?" And then he just shoots into the
Right.
fucking crowded
It's like,
elevator. Like,
bro,
just,
what are you
you
doing?
know, like yeah, just like the way that's scored and everything. Like I
Right.
don't know, that's like, you know, like the music really heightens that.
Yeah, all those
Like
movies from those eras, man. Just all the movies. It's just perfect, like perfect timing for each song. What's another
yeah,
one? Fucking Above the Rim has an awesome soundtrack, bro. Oh, I love
one of
Above the Rim,
one of the best ever. One
bro.
of the
Oh
best
my
ever.
god, it's like, yeah, man. Yeah, it's like, you know, and you associate. Also, I feel like it helps certain like tones. Again, like looking at like the Juice and shit. Like that song is put on a kind of like like a real dark time of the movie and shit. Like even that, like it's the setting, the mood of it, that heightens everything as well. Because like if you put a different song, it probably wouldn't fit as well. Like it just
Right.
shit like that.
Yeah, nah, like, you know, like going to Above the Rim, just thinking about like that movie doesn't hit the same if Pain isn't in it,
Right,
you
facts.
know, and like Pain is like Pain might be my favorite Tupac song ever
Mm,
if I had to pick one. Like I can't really. I saw Above the Rim in theaters for the first time.
wow,
No, for my birthday this year,
wow, wow.
because they showed it at the Draft House for like they had this package of like they were showing a bunch of movies from like a specific year. I forget the year it came out,
Mm,
but like Above the Rim was one of them, and they showed it on my birthday. Like me and my girl and my sister went, and like I had seen the movie before, but seeing
right.
it on the big screen, like seeing an older movie on the big screen will always make it hit different for me. Like as
Right.
somebody who loves that experience, and like, what a movie, man!
What
Like
a movie, man.
Above the Rim is fucking crazy.
No, it really is.
Damn. So you know, like as you get older, you'd already mentioned that you didn't really start to take music seriously, like as a thing, until like around high school, and then you didn't really start making music for real until like college.
Yeah.
So like talk to me, when did you first know that music would become more than just a hobby for you?
It was yeah, definitely high school. I want to say it was freshman year. It was probably sophomore year. I feel like I was 15, but yeah, I was 15. That was the year I entered my real hip hop phase. I remember just being like, because at the time it was just purely, you know, the young, newer underground cats, OF, Pro Era, Denzel Curry, fucking Chance the Rapper, all of them, everyone who was popping at the time. Dylan Cooper, HD Bento, the guys who didn't blow up Clear Soul Forces, like who have Bishop
Yeah.
Naru. Oh my God, I'm gonna go back. But yeah, I remember being 15 and wanting to explore more into hip hop, and that's when I remember just looking up like top 100 hip hop albums of all time on some random list. Just like,
Right.
okay, holy shit, Kanye West, College Dropout. Oh, okay, what's this? This is way different from what shit he's doing now. What is Operation Doomsday? Who the fuck is MF Doom? Who is LP? Like that list has some shit on it. That was a good list. Having listened to Ice-T and shit. Why am I 15 listening to Ice-T? This is nasty. I should be listening to Fetty Wap and shit, Young Thug. I'm like, nah, man, you're not listening to Power by Ice-T. Come on, man,
Right.
put on Long Live the Kane. But just hearing that, just yeah, I remember like going into different forums and shit, the Rap Genius forum, Kanye to the YouTube comments, just discussing about rap. I remember just being brainwashed as hell. I'm like, Lil Wayne is the worst rapper ever. Lil Wayne ruined rap. That was the shit I was on. But, you know, having that experience with hip hop and building that love with hip hop, and then again, like building memories with all these albums. Like I said, I remember my first time listening to College Dropout. I can remember my first time listening to, well, it's a newer album, but watching movies with the sounds off. I remember taking my mom's phone and like, I need your album. I need your phone. The Mac Miller album came out, and you're the only one with internet here. So I got to listen to this, watch movies with the sounds off. Like just having to associate memories with hip hop at a young age. Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to 90s hip hop for building me.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely had that moment too where like I was like when I first started, I just wanted to hear everything that was new.
Yeah.
I was kind of pulling everything off the radio. I was huge into crunk and snap music. Just like you know, just like anything that was big and popping at the time, I was listening to that. And then I discovered Doom. I found Doom through the Boondocks, and then like that just sent me down the rabbit hole of like everything classic New York. I ran through every
Right.
Nas album, every
All that
Tribe
shit.
album, all
All
that.
that.
You know, like I got kind of stuffy, and
Yeah.
obviously like I grew out of that, like especially from like it really started in college, but then as you know, like as I started to get deeper, I just started to. I'm 32, and I feel like my mind is more open now than it was when I was like 16, and that's
Right.
pretty cool. You know,
Right.
like
No,
that
that's what I
like
feel too.
a lot of people can't say that, so I
Yeah.
try not to take that for granted. But you know, so like around the time this happens, like when did you start to, you know, when did you go from having this, you know, like real hip hop ego death moment to being like, let me make music and like
Yeah.
actually do this shit?
Right. Right. I remember the first time I had like the idea of dabbling into it. It was my freshman year. I vividly remember I took one of my sister's diaries. Sorry, I stole one of her diaries. I'm like, this is gonna be my rap book now, because that was around the time when I first discovered Beast Coast. So before it was strictly OF, strictly Kendrick, strictly TDE. Now it's strictly Pro Era, it's strictly the Underachievers, Flapper Zombies, sprinkle some ASAP Mob in here, blah blah. But yeah, at the time I was listening to Better Off Dead heavy. I'm like, Michi Darko is the best nigga ever. So I
Album's a
remember
classic. I love that
classic. I'm
project
so
so
glad it's
much.
on streaming now. I'm so glad it's on streaming. But anyway, yeah, I remember taking my sister's diary, and yeah, I was like, I'm gonna write rap like Michi Darko, ex Tyler the Creator, except I'm 14. I remember. Do I remember the bar? Oh my god, I don't remember the bar. It was like some super nasty wannabe DMX shit. But yeah, I remember I took the diary to school one day. I was in math class, and I remember my manager was like, he saw me writing it. He took it. And was like, this is fucking stupid, nigga. So that like shut the idea off. But yeah, I wanted to rap since I was 14. I just didn't have the confidence or the support system really, because all of my friends didn't listen to the shit I was listening to. You know,
Right.
I couldn't be like, yo, guys, you heard the new Vic Mensa, the new Saba, and they just like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
We listening to Chief Keef and shit, like, and respectfully, but
Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of my friends was on the same wavelength as I was, so yeah, it didn't get into college because I remember in college again, that was the first time I had real freedom, just doing whatever the fuck I wanted, and it just came to me one day. I was also super depressed in college. So it just became an outlet. I was writing poetry at first also. That's a big thing that I missed. I started writing poetry. Then I became kind of just delusionalized with poetry. It wasn't the same outlet. It didn't give me the same feelings. Then I started writing poetry to beats, and I'm like, this is basically rapping. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna start rap.
Right.
In college I met a producer. His beats were kind of ass, but he was all I had. He was hungry. We found a studio near us. We were like, fuck it, let's throw money into this, and it was fun. And that's the thing about it. It was just fun. So that was around 2018. So I was 19. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
2018. The first time I recorded a song. It was just like this is fun. I'd never felt anything like this, and I still get the same feeling recording in my fucking room now. So
Yes, that means you found it,
I
like
found it for
that's
real.
that was the thing. And like that leads to stuff like like Distance and 10 Toes from
Right. Holy
2019.
fuck.
And
Ah,
yeah, like
no. Yo, I want to delete those songs, but I'm like, nah, they part of the journey. Well, god damn.
yeah, no, this cover is killing me, bro. I'm looking at it right now, just like the blurry picture of you with
Yo.
the blurry picture of you with the paper, like
You already know that was some rap songs, baby. Come on now, that was pure some rap songs. That was all some rap
love.
songs right there.
Oh
That's
my
crazy
God.
too, because the person who produced those tracks, his name is Peasy. He lives in Italy. I'm still very close to him now, and it's so cool to think about. Like we've known each other for like 5 years now,
Oh, that's hard.
only off the internet. I've never heard his voice or anything, but like that's one of my closest friends from music. Like
Yo,
it's
that's
like what
the
the fuck.
that's the Nicolay your Fonte. I love that
Mm-hmm.
story. That's so
Literally
good.
though, literally.
Damn. So I mean, like once you start recording and you realize that you have a taste for it, like talk to me about kind of making a lot of this early stuff, like like stuff like that and like Birthday Boy. Like what
Right.
was like like putting those together and like establishing your identity as a rapper. Like what was it? Because I mean, like that's a like you're kind of still at like a tender moment at this point, but
Right.
like this is like super duper early
Yeah.
on when you're like really feeling shit out. So like talk to me about putting these things together and like how you felt about them, how it feels looking back now, like all
Yeah,
that.
holy shit. Now looking back and now I was like, what the fuck was doing, man? I didn't know what I was doing. I'm pretty sure none of those tracks are mixed. They're not mastered. I'll just give me because I didn't know what the fuck that was. I'm like, what's a
Right.
master, bro? Like the song is done. It's just funny looking back now and just looking how much I did not know and just looking how much I know now and being like, yo, you really was bad, bro. Like, but looking back, it was like it was just free. It was fun. It was just being inspired by shit. Because those songs, those were around the time when I was listening to Mike and Pink Seafood, Navy. That's when they got introduced to my life, and then that just took everything over. That was just like
Right. Yeah.
completely shifted my brain. So all those early songs are just me trying to really be like them, and not really having the idea of being like you need to be yourself. I just again, really at the time, it was just fun. I never imagined music kind of ended up taking off the way it did for me. At the time, it really was just like it was just fun and a way to free my mind off shit. And
Right.
just wanting to be like the niggas I heard and be like the niggas I've seen live, and just being young and real impressionable and not really having a sense of myself yet.
When did you so like when you started creating, when did you first realize that you could do it? Like
Yeah.
when were you first like happy with the stuff you were making?
That's such a difficult question. It really is because I feel with every verse, every project, it's like I see the little improvements. It's like, oh man, XP is going up. Let's go. Leveling up each time. So I can't really give you a real like first time I felt that because I feel like I felt that every time when I would go to the studio back then, like because I
That's
remember
a
back
good answer.
yeah, no, for real. Every time. I remember back then, obviously I didn't have my recording shit now. Where's my shit at? Whatever. I didn't have my shit now, so I was going to studios. So I remember back then it's like, all right, every 2 weeks, $100, 2 hours. How am I gonna get better? Did I make this song better? And that's how I felt. But yeah, it just I think with me it started when I started to find community. Shout out to every nigga I met from SoundCloud and Instagram. People like June, people
Yeah.
like Insight, people like everybody I met back in the day, just having their encouragement, having them wanting to work with me, hearing them and being inspired by them, being like, damn, you sound like me. I could tell where you draw inspiration from. Yeah, it's really just the community I've met, just being able to hear people also try to challenge themselves and push new boundaries and give a piece of themselves to us when they don't have to. That kept me going, because like if you're doing it and I can keep on doing it, like you're getting, I'm getting 100 plays, you're getting 55, and you're still going. Like, why would I stop?
Yeah, no, and then I mean, like you translate that to, you know, quote unquote real life, and you know, like I said before, like you're, you know, like that community aspect, like you're at literally every show I could think of. So like when did you well, first off, when did you get to New York? When did you move from Yonkers to New York, and when did you start going to shows, and why? I mean, like I know why it's important because I'm sure your answer is gonna be similar to mine. But like why? But like why is that important for you to be every fucking where?
Yeah. I currently live in Harlem. I live in Harlem. I moved from Yonkers to Harlem in 2021. Yeah. I remember at the time when I was living in Yonkers, I was living alone. And it was just an unhealthy experience, because I was super isolated, but I craved the isolation. And I remember at the time just being like, yo, bro, you're kind of bugging. Like, you're purposely not going, seeing any of your friends. You know, you're going to work straight home, and like, you're liking that. And I remember at the time, I live with my father too. He like kind of just moved into Harlem. And again, I remember just being like, I haven't talked to my guy in months. You know, this is bad. And I remember I just approached him with the idea, because me and him, we've never really lived together for an extended period of time growing up. I lived primarily with my mother growing up. So it's just like, yo, we've never done this before. We wanted to do this plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the opportunity, and I've been stuck with him since. So yeah, that was around 2021. But I was already going to shows before that. I was going to shows when I was living in Yonkers. Holy shit, that commute going home. Wow.
How no. Tell me about that commute. How long was that commute?
Let's see. So I'm trying to think, like, what would an average show be? Like an average show in Brooklyn or some shit. Boom. This is coming from Yonkers. So oh my God. You would have to take, there's a bus. So that'd be the number one. No, okay, there's multiple ways. There's the number one bus to the 2 train. That gets you to Times Square, the A train, whatever. Or you would take the 4 bus to the 4 train at Bedford Park in the Bronx, and have to. But then going home, you had to take Grand Central. Hopefully the bus would still be running. Oh, nah, there was plenty of nights I would go home at 4 a.m, go to work at 8 a.m, and do it all over again. That was a good times. But yeah, going to shows, how that started. The first concert I ever went to, this is so fucking funny. The first concert I ever went to was ALCDELUXE on their Isolation tour back in 2018 at Madison Square Garden. The only reason, because I remember the time I was super like, I'm not spending money on shit. So I was looking at concerts like, yo, why would I spend money to hear songs I'm listening to already? I was just making mad excuses like, yo, he's probably not even gonna do the song. I'm gonna like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I remember one of my close homies at the time, my man Lemaine, he was like, yo, bro, I got these tickets to this ALCDELUXE show. I was gonna take my ex, keyword my ex. They broke up like the same week of the show. And he told me, he was like, I don't even want to sell these shits. He's like, you're the only nigga I know that listens to Cali. Like, you're literally the only person I know that listens to ALCDELUXE. Just full up.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I got the day off. And I remember like that was my first show experience, fucking Madison Square Garden. I'm like, this is fucking horrible, bro. We pulled up at 7 on the dot and shit. It's a huge ass line. But I remember it was like, I do remember like, this is a crazy atmosphere. Like, you know, hearing, obviously, you know how it is, hearing live songs versus recorded studio songs, actually getting to see the person, like, damn, this is dead ass ALCDELUXE. Like, because at that time I was a super big fan of her. Isolation was my shit genuinely. So I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
A great project. Yeah,
that's a classic. I don't give a fuck. That's a classic. But then from there, the show that really put me on to like, nigga, you got to be at all these shows. The show that gave me that feeling, it was Dean Spencer at Baby's All Right for his Pretty Face project.
Oh wow, you were there too. I was at that show too. That's crazy.
Oh my god, I was at that show too. Look at life, hell yeah. So the thing about that show, so it's such a funny story. So at that time, that had to be 2019, I think, or 2020. I forget. I know the project came out in 2019. But whatever year it was, so at the time I was in college and I was dorming. I went to Iona College in New Rochelle, if you know what that is. Whatever. I was dorming, and I remember I had a lot of issues with my scholarships, my grants. Essentially, I got kicked out of college, but it was like, you can just chill for the semester, but after this, you got to figure it out. So I kind of treated that like I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm not going to because you told me like I can't come back, but like I can stay for the year. So I'm like I'm not going to class. I'm gonna do this and that. And I remember at the time I had more money. I had a lot of money at the time. I was working a lot more. So I had more liberty and freedom. So yeah, that was an album that resonated with me at the time. Shout out to Dean Spencer. It's so funny. Like, damn, life is so funny. Like I have his number now. That's so cool. At the time, like that album, his song Soap, like those were huge on me. So I remember I'm like, nigga, I'm going to the show. I don't care. Cause again, I didn't have friends, like real life friends. This was before, I had friends from going to shows. I'm like, I had like anxiety and shit. I'm like, whoa, like I'm going to Brooklyn all by myself. But I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. But again, my only experience before that was Madison Square Garden at ALCDELUXe. So I'm thinking like, I need to get here at 2:00. I need to be prepared. I need to have. So I get to Baby's All Right at like 3:00 in the fucking afternoon. The show is at like 7 or some shit. So I'm just here like, damn, like, all right.
No.
But it's crazy how. But now that it's important that happened because I remember I ended up being there so early. I ended up getting there before Dean for his sound check. So I remember Dean pulling up, and I'm like, "Yo, you're Dean Spencer." Like I remember talking to him and shit. And again, I don't know shit about shows, so I remember he went in for sound check. I walk in like with him and shit. So I basically saw the whole sound check and shit. And I remember the security guard was like, "He should not be here." Like, wait a minute, what is he doing here? But shout out to Dean because if it wasn't for this moment, I probably wouldn't be rapping. Dean was like, "Nah, it's cool, bro. Like he's cool." I'm like, he didn't have to be nice to me, like, because you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just been like, yeah, get the fuck out of sound check. But nah, like, he was just like, nah, it's cool. Like, he's cool. He didn't know who the fuck I was, but he took time to, like, actually, not be rude to me or some shit. And I remember he talked to me, too. Like, I had a conversation with him, like, what made you, like, just be confident in going all in on music? This at the time, again, I'm basically getting kicked out of college. This is right when I start kind of record music, too. I'm like, what's going on here? What's life trying to tell me? I'm like, okay. And I remember Dean just being like, bro, it feels good. Like, it felt right. It felt right to me. And it's what I wanted to do. And I remember from there, it was just like, yo, you're right. Like, it clicked. And then from there on, that's when I started taking music more seriously. But that show in general, like, again, just Baby's All Right. It's a smaller venue in Madison Square Garden. Being in the front, like, just feeling the energy. Like, I still remember hearing Soap live and crying. Like, holy shit, this is my song. Like, and then sharing and hearing other people singing the song and shit like that,
knowing that you're
around,
not
dancing. It's like I felt at home. It felt home, and every show is just me trying to recapture that feeling, I guess. But it's just it's fun. It's just fun. That's what it is. It's just at the end of the day, it's fun. It's what I like to do. It's what I like.
Same here, bro. Like that's like. So I have my own Dean Spencer story because I saw him open the first time I saw him. He opened for Open Mike Eagle and Elucid at some fucking hole in the wall bar. Can't remember, but like I had tweeted about it because I was like really big into Open Mike.
Yeah.
I still love Open Mike Eagle. Shout out to Mike, but like I was like really into his shit at the time. So like I had like tweeted about it and he saw it. Like Dean was like really active, like talking to people, like, oh yeah, like cool, like come to the show. I was like, cool. He DM'd me and he was like, hey, my name's Dean Spencer.
Wow.
I just like he had just put out Sunflower on SoundCloud. Like he had just dropped Sunflower.
Wow.
And he sent me and he was like, yo, like I just put this project out, give it a listen, let me know what you think. This is like when I was like working at my first site.
Yeah.
And I go there and like Dean opens and like he did his set. He was just a ball of nerve endings, bro. Like he was like he looked like he was gonna melt at every second. Like this is like early.
Yeah, Jesus.
So like we met and I told him like, yo, like I'm Dylan. We talked on Twitter, and then we established our relationship then. And like, no, that's my dog. Shout out to Dean.
For real.
And,
Shout out to Dean. For real.
And then I saw him. Like I'd see him around, we'd talk. I'd like when I was starting out writing, I'd post his music every once in a while. I saw him. I was just telling my man this story a couple days ago. Because of Dean was the reason I first saw Mike live because Flums opened for Dean at Muchmore's in Brooklyn, which isn't rest in peace to Muchmore's, not there no more.
Yeah,
but that was the first because like my man Greg, who I went to school with, shout out to Greg. Like Greg had put me on to Slums. but and then I saw they were opening for Deem, so I was like, I'm gonna pull up.
Right.
And like that was the first time I'd ever met Mike. He and I talked for like 20 seconds. I'm sure he doesn't remember it, but like, like of course Mike's a fucking star now.
Right,
like,
right.
He just played Webster over the summer, but like Dean was one of those people who like he's just a connector in that way, like and just like being able to see him grow into his artistry and grow into his craft, and it's like talking to him about kind of being anxious about like where he was going to take the music, and like but like seeing him now, his performance is like, it's like night and day. He's like so confident. He's still quiet and like a little like awkward, but like he's so confident.
He can just turn it on.
He just owns the fucking stage now,
it's
man.
So cool.
Like
it's
watching,
so cool.
Yeah, like that
so
shit. That shit
inspiring.
really warmed my heart. Like, that's somebody that I've known from like the beginning of my career.
Right. That's
so like
cool.
seeing,
That's so cool.
like like I love Dean so much. If you're listening, bro, shout out to Dean.
Shout out to Dean, bro.
Yeah, nah,
because real shit, Dean. Like I've told you, bro, but like you really impacted my life. That has like literally impacted my life.
God, like you can't put a price. You can't put a price on shit like that.
And that's how I rationalize it too. Like you can't put a price on the feelings and what you can take out of a show. It's funny because this year in particular, I've met a lot of artists, and a lot of them comment like, "Yo, I see you at every show. Like you're really hustling, bro." And I'm like, "Nah, not really, man. It's like I'm here for just love and be around similar people like me who feel the same way and want the same shit. Like this is what it's really all about. Just building community and just being inspired by each and every one of us. Like it's not about me like trying to get an opportunity. Like fuck that. It's just me enjoying being young and black and free. Like what?
Like you're just like at shows because it's fun. And it's the same. It's the same for me. Like I just like being around. Like like when I'm able, I pull up. Like I was at 2 shows last night. I didn't have to go to either of them shit, but I did it, and like I paid to go to both those shows. So like I'm not tripping. Like I just like it's like there's like something about the like I have like I can't count the amount of people who I've just like met. Like I mean, like we've met at a show, basically. Like so it's just like I've made so many lifelong friends just by like being, and like I didn't start going to shows until like around like the end of, I'm like I had been to concerts before. Like I had been to a handful, but like I didn't start going like for real until like just before I left college. Like I don't know that I've ever publicly credited him with this, but I'm gonna do it now. My homie Corey, shout out to Corey, shout out to Corey. Shout out to Tenebrae Records. Like Corey was the type of person who was like, he was going to shows like all the time. Like we were roommates, and like he would every other night he would be at a show somewhere in the city. And like we went to school at Purchase, so like he would be like on the train,
God
damn,
going
to New York. Like like I remember he told me that he went to go see Mellow Hype around the time they put out fucking what's the album with the upside down cross on it? It's brown. Numbers. So he went so he saw them play Numbers. Damn. And I was like, all right, I need to be outside. I was like it's time. So like it's like he was one of the people who like I saw him doing his thing, and I'm like, I need to be at more shows. Like I forget the first concert I went to that really gave me the bug, but I was like, this is like, if it's not movies, it's this. I'm here for this. So like I want to publicly acknowledge Corey as the person who kind of like gave me the bug.
Wow.
So but like it's like there's something magic about that experience of like, it could be any sort of live event. That's why I love doing the Real Talks so much, because like that's just like my way of giving back to like this community that's really like fed into me, and just like being able to like like it's like one thing to go and be a part of a space that somebody else made, but to like create your own, and for people to come, like I don't like I'd be cool if one person showed up.
That's what I'm saying,
but, like, like, it's just like, and like that's part of the reason why I was so upset that I didn't get to see y'all do your thing at SOBs like for this new album, because like y'all y'all wrote a song about being at SOBs, and it just like I don't know, just like seeing you know, like seeing you be at this point where you have 3 projects out in a
Yeah,
year,
it's fucking crazy.
and you're just like, man, like I wanna. We're gonna touch on your older stuff another
Right,
time,
right. Yeah.
but no, like I want to talk about so let's do it this way. I want to talk about Alchemy. I
Yes.
want to talk about like how you and Chow
Divine.
brought this project together, and
Yeah.
like that was like #1 of the year for you.
Yeah. Right,
So
absolutely. Without a doubt.
talk to me about Alchemy.
Yeah, shout out to Chow. It's funny. Chow was one of those artists that, again, I mentioned earlier, who was like one of the earliest people I've met from recording music. I'm pretty sure I met Chow in 2020, just off some. I'm pretty sure I met Chow from June. Funny enough, June is the type of artist where when they are making a project, they like to include everyone in a big ass group chat. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't need to know every little part of the project, bro. But I get it. But yeah, I remember Chow. I forgot if it was for like a project in particular or just like, yo, we're all artists, let's link up or some shit like that. But yeah, I remember I was in a group chat with Chow. This is way again back in like 2020 or some shit. Yeah, I remember he personally hit me up. He was like, "Yo, I really fuck with your style and like what you trying to do. Like, I see the vision. Like, let me send you a beat." This is back in 2020. He sent me a song. It's still on my SoundCloud. I think it's called 3/4. I don't know. It's some number shit, but yeah. So I've known
Mhm.
Chow for years. I've known Chow for years. I'm on 2 of his personal solo projects and back in the day. So we've had a relationship for a minute. I remember last year, this is last March 2023, he hit me up. He was just like, "Yo, fam, what's good? Just want to let you know, like, I want to do a little project with you. Like, just let me know if I could send you some beats." I'm like, "Nigga, of course, bro. Like, you sent me beats before. Like, yes. Why are you asking me?" So yeah. So we established the idea of working together in March last year, March. He sent me beats, and I think April or May. He like life shit, of course, but yeah, he sent me 5 beats. And that was supposed to be it, just 5 beats. And you're just like, yo, you're kind of rapping differently on these beats. And I remember too, just the first 5 songs he sent, if I'm not mistaken, are all still on Alchemy. The first songs we did
Mhm.
still made the final project. So again, it was supposed to be like a 4 or 5 song EP. It's a 18-song project now. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but yeah, I just remembered I shout out to Chow. I need to thank Chow because if you look at my discography, I do a lot of shit with producers in general. It's never on purpose. People like me a lot. We end up making projects. But with Alchemy, what was so different about it is it was constant communication. A lot, and obviously not saying it's a bad thing, of course, but with a lot of my prior people I worked with, it was a thing where it's like they send me a beat, I record it, send it back. Okay, this is nice. Send me the stems, boom, boom, boom. With Alchemy, me and Chow really got super close, and I don't even know how. I just remember one day you're just sending songs back to each other. Next thing you know, we're talking about vaporwave music. We're talking about 18 Karat Affair and shit. And that's really built the friendship. And that's all Alchemy is. It's just friendship, really. Just
Yeah.
talking about music. Oh, he's sending me Max B songs, shit like that. Yeah, we just ended up talking. I'm sending him samples and shit. There's a lot of songs on Alchemy where I sent him the samples for it. So yeah, we just ended up just making songs. I remember it wasn't until I think like we were on track 12 or some shit. We were like, yo, we kind of are making an album here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We
It took
like,
y'all 12 songs to realize you were making it.
bro, Chow was the one who came up with the name of Alchemy. I was just like, bro, we're just making music. Like that's how I was looking at us. We were just
Mhm.
making music. It wasn't no time where it was like we're making an album or it's gonna have these themes and these plots. Like, nah, we were just homies making music. Chow was sending me the
Yeah.
best beats I've ever had in my life at the time. I was getting more confident with rapping, feeling myself rapping and shit like that. And then yeah, I remember he was just like, "Yo, what are we gonna name this?" And then he sent me a list of names, and I'm like, "Alchemy feels right." This whole thing,
Mhm.
this whole process just feels like alchemy. And then yeah, the next thing I know, just
Yeah.
as more life shit happens. I remember I was in a relationship making alchemy. I ended up getting broken up with like during making alchemy, making more songs because of that. And again, it's just magic. Like it is alchemy how shit happens.
Yeah, nah. And like I mean, like even before all of that happened, like this, you know, like a lot of these songs are like very emotionally heavy, and you
Right.
dealing with just dealing with like working through, you know, like depression and bad thoughts, and like, you know, it's, like it's funny that the title didn't come until later,
Right.
because like that right there is Alchemy. It's just like
Exactly. Yo,
you know, like
exactly.
you turning those negatives into maybe not even turning them into positives, but turning them into
Right.
art. You know, just
Yeah.
like the whole transmogrification aspect of alchemy. So like
Right.
that's like it's apt. You know, like you know,
Exactly.
just like hearing you and excuse me, hearing you and like Shamar go at it back and
Yes.
forth, and you
Oh
and like
man.
Micah Gabriel and people, and just
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you know, just like and then of course like the big ass posse cut at the end with
Right.
Flowers and
Yo,
Shamar and
it's so funny
everybody,
how
like,
that
you
it's
know,
so
like,
funny how that ended up happening. It was not supposed to be a
please,
project cut. That's the funniest
that's
shit. So I remember with that song in particular, I remember Chow sent me the beat first, and I remember just being it was regular 2 minute standard shit. I remember just being like, I don't know what to say on this beat, but I love this beat. So I'm like, we're gonna save this. Because with a lot of songs on Alchemy, it was just like I know what I'm doing immediately. That was a song I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Send it to a couple artists, and I'm sending it to Big Flowers. Big Flowers crushed the verse. I was like, thank you. I'm activated. I know what I'm saying now. Do my verse. And then I just remember just being like, there was space. That was the problem. There was still a little space after my verse on it, if I remember correctly. So I remember just being like, we need to do something with this shit. And I ended up sending it to a couple of other rappers. And I remember they both sent me their versions like at the same day type shit. I think my homie Noon sent his shit at like 3 o'clock. Shamar sends his shit at 7 o'clock. And I'm like, oh shit. Because I didn't tell him like, yeah, I'm sending this beat to other people too. I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do? I ended up telling Chow, like, yo, just extend the beat and put all their verses on. And then Chow was like, fuck it, I'm just rap too. So
mm,
it's funny how shit happens. Yeah, it's funny how shit happens.
yeah, it's hilarious to me because like you go through and look at this album, there's only one song on here that's exactly 3 minutes long. Like everything's like a minute 20, a minute 10,
Right.
2.5, and then there's just this 6 minute 20-second song at the end. Like
Fuck it.
that's
Y'all want
you
raps,
know,
huh?
like
You want raps? Huh? Let's give you some raps.
I remember listening to this project for the first time, and that was just a nice that 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 caught me off guard in a cool way.
Yeah, nah, that was
As
perfect.
somebody who I love a good posse cut, you know, like just like even go like even thinking about stuff like the one at the end of the Gibbs and Madlib album
Yeah, Pinata.
with Michi
Yeah,
with Michi and
yeah, Mac,
I'm here
Damo,
with Meech and Mac and Damo
Casey Veggies.
and Casey Veggies, right? That
Yeah,
was it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, like even like I don't know, like I talk about this with Sharif, Fatboy Sharif a lot, but like just like I love raps just about rapping.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't fuck with like raps about rapping. People get bored by. I love that shit. Give
Mm-hmm.
me all of that stuff. Like give me all the like talk to me about how nice you are. Figure out cool
Right.
ways to say it. Like just
Exactly.
like
That's what hip hop was
fucking
built on.
give me the 6 minute and 20-second posse
Right.
cut
Just pure
where everybody just
bars.
does yeah, just give me that,
Right.
you know, like yeah, like even going to like oldie, you know, like going like OS
Mm-hmm.
with it, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like stuff like, and like just I could name other examples, but we get the point. But
Mm-hmm.
like, but yeah,
Definitely
man,
lost
like
art. Definitely lost art.
yeah, you know, like it's just cool to see. It was just cool to see that pop up the way it did.
Right.
And I wanna so since since I'm not like I've heard it, but I'm not as familiar with Pure
Yeah, yeah,
Magic.
yeah, right, right.
Like, you know, like talk to me about putting this project together and how
Yeah.
y'all did this. Because like,
Yeah, shout out to my dog Alikho. There's an artist from Philadelphia. His name is Alikho Igama. He's fucking amazing. But with him, I feel him as a kind of like a kindred spirit. Like obviously I met a lot of people through hip hop. Met so many people in hip hop who I consider to be very close, like share the same ideals. With him, I really view him as like my fucking counterpart or some shit. Like you're me in a different universe. Like you're literally
and like type shit.
you're the
Yeah,
Pennsylvania version of me. I remember with him, I met him in 2022. I just pulled up at some show that one of my homies was playing at. And I remember seeing him just being like, okay, I'm locked in. Like he was kind of the only one rapping, you know, rapping the way I do, the shit I like on that bill. And I'm just being like, nah, you're nice, bro. So that was 2022. And I remember the game. I've only seen him in person, you know, at that point, like 2-3 times. I'm sorry, when we ended up first talking about making songs together. I only seen him in person 2-3 times, but each time it was like it just felt familiar with him. So I remember last year around August he had a show in New York that I was going to pull up to, but I ended up going to a mic show instead. But I pulled up after saw him. This is August 2023, so I'm already working on Alchemy and shit. Alikho, he's showing me songs he's making. He's a producer too. So this is our first time really actually like talking to each other. I remember like a bunch of our homies was on this side. We're on this whole other side of the venue, like just me and him just locked in. He's just showing each other songs. And I remember he was like, yo, like, can I send you a beat? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, go for it, bro. Sends me a beat, I rap on it, and then same shit like with Alchemy. He just ended up sending me other shit. I'm like, what are we doing with these songs, bro? And like, what's going on here? And I remember he saw Downtown 81 first. He's the one who recommended that movie to me. He saw it first, and then he was like, yo, let's just make a fucking album with most of these songs. This is at this point, yeah, like October 2023. We just ended up making a lot of fucking songs. Like that's all Pure Magic is. That's all Pure Magic. Pure Magic is just like, bro, we're just homies rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't want to say it's low stakes. I don't want to say like, but you know, it's like compared to Alchemy and Perseverance, it's kind of just fun. That kind of was like a good like. It's like I don't want to like dismiss it. Well, I kind of want to call it filler in a way. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I think Alchemy and Perseverance are more heavier tones. For Pure Magic, it has just heavy tones. But again, I'm just rapping. I'm just getting my bars off.
You know, you're rapping and you're having fun, and like
Exactly,
there's you know, there's value in that shit.
Right.
There's value. There's value. You know, like we were just saying, there's value in doing that just for the art of doing it, and like you know, like you, but you know, like to talk about like stakes and things, but and also shout out. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm excited. I'm gonna re-listen to it because I didn't spend enough time with it. But shout out to y'all because I love the cover too. Like
shout out my dog. Shout out my dog. Out of all the projects I dropped this year, I think those have the most like honestly, I think they have like kind of my favorite beats. They do have my favorite beats, like top 5 beats. Pure Magic has like 3 of my top 5 favorite beats that I rapped on this year. Right. Yeah, Lee goes hard.
Yeah, no, shout out to him. I'm gonna definitely run that back when we hop off this call. But but I mean, like, talk to me about you and June and June Cinema and Perseverance because like this is. I mean, like y'all have been building to a June Cinema project for a while, so to see it finally cross the finish line, like, talk to me about bringing this one to life.
Yeah, so Perseverance. First of all, shout out to June just in general. If you know June, you know I don't want to get into his shit, but you know he's a warrior. He's a real warrior. That's
God body, man. Shout out to him,
God. He's the real strongest out here. No one's doing it like they are. But yeah, with June, me and June actually do have like projects that we made before, but Perseverance was definitely the one where it was like, nigga, we got to go in on this shit. Shout out to June because he kind of handled the whole like, niggas gonna hear this shit. Like we're doing this right type shit. Yeah, June approached me with the idea of doing Perseverance, I think, and if I remember correctly, either November or December 2023. So again, Alchemy was done at this point, but we're kind of in the rollout period. Alchemy, like me, kind of want to like we're having a rollout. We're doing this, that, and the third with it. And I was also working on Pure Magic. So I remember telling June, like, honestly, bro, it's probably not the time for this, but June was just sending me the craziest shits. I'm just like, all right, bro, like, you got me, bro. I want to rap. So, but yeah, now with Perseverance, I think, especially with both of us at that time, we're obviously dealing with, who isn't dealing with life shit, but at the time, you know, life is definitely hitting a lot hard for both of us. And that's what the music is for, a way to get these feelings off. Yeah, really with Perseverance, it was just, a lot of it was just June was sending a track. He already rapped on it. And then he was just like, yo, do what you got to do on it. It was just me just really bouncing off him. And just me also wanting to fucking bar off on him because it's, you know, we're rapping together. Like, obviously, I love you, but it's still competition. I still want niggas to think I got you. And obviously, I know we have the same feeling. So it was definitely a thing where I'm trying to out-rap you. I'm also trying to compliment you. And I also am trying to, like, tell niggas how life is going with you. So, it's always great sharpening the blade with them. Always great sharpening the blade with them and just gaining the experience and learn and grow with them. That's what Perseverance was. It was definitely felt like a lot of just growth.
Yeah, and you know, like seeing y'all get to the point where like you had the show,
right?
And you know, like people came out to see that, and like this is kind of like your, you know, it's like kind of like your, not your arrival because you had already been making music at this point.
Like, it's my arrival. It's my arrival.
it's the first official statement, you know, like from y'all as a collective.
Definitely,
and, you know, like. Yeah, like y'all, you know, y'all compliment each other really well, like voice wise, you know, like content wise, flow wise, technique wise. Like there's, like that's the, you know, like I think y'all sound so solid together.
Exactly.
it's not like it's just two people like rapping the exact same way and like, y'all don't sound alike, and that
Right,
helps, you
right. But
know.
obviously that's just years of knowing each other. I
Yeah.
met June in 2019. It's 2024 now, so it's just years of
Yeah.
knowing him and learning his aspects, and growing as myself as an artist. And all right, how can I do to really differentiate myself from June? Yeah, but there's definitely songs between us in the past where I know for a fact we kind of sound similar. So it's cool, and like again, just noticing I can do different shit to complement him
Mhm.
better, and to see people also feel the same way is, yeah, it's super cool. Life is
Yeah.
cool. Voices
Yeah.
are nice.
Nah. Seeing y'all drop the song of Black Chai not too long ago.
Shout out to Black Child, man.
Shout out to
Oh my
fucking Black
god.
Chai.
Shout
I was just with him yesterday for a thing that I
shout out to
can't
Black
talk about
Child.
yet.
did
But yeah, nah, like,
did you
yeah,
listen
like,
to his shit with Fanon?
oh yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Well,
like,
that shit is nuts.
yeah, I like that's like that's one of those like blew my whole wig back. Like I sent that to everybody I knew. Like you need to hear
Insane.
this.
You
Like
need to hear this. Oh my,
with
the
the
fucking
people. No, 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 you go.
about to say the fucking. I was gonna say though, the fucking sparkling zero beat. I was like, bro, and then Chai's flow. I did 98.3. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
crazy how it's nuts. There's too much good shit that's dropping. There's no way this
yeah,
doesn't get more
man.
coverage. This is so it's That's the only negatives of how much good music there is. It's like not everything
Right,
get talked about. Because how is that not getting talked about?
right.
How is
Yeah,
in the new like
yeah, I couldn't agree more, bro. Like Dissonant Strains is the one for me. Like just like the like I get stuck on that every time I think
yeah.
about it. Yeah, no, I sent it to my team and hearing things, and everybody was like, "We need to do something with this
Right,
person." So
right.
keep an eye out in the
Oh,
next couple of weeks. But yeah, like it was yeah, like I love and like y'all sound great together. You know,
right.
again, like I'm big on vocal contrast.
Yeah,
It's there. You know.
yeah. Nah, I remember when June sent me that. I was like, nah, okay, okay. Like, I see what we're doing. I see what's going on. I got a rap, huh? I really got a breath control.
Type
Yeah,
shit. So
shout out to Black Shy, one of the best
eh,
ever.
yeah, no, all day, every day. So, like these three projects come out this year. You do a handful of shows. You're just everywhere because you're you. And then eventually you link with Ryan and everybody over at Every Deja Vu.
Yes,
Like home team,
home
family.
team.
Shout
Shout
out
out to
to Ryan.
family.
So
Shout out to
talk to
Ryan.
me talk to me about linking with them, doing the show you did out in Massachusetts, and like signing to the label and like
Yeah.
kind of getting to that point.
Yeah, yo, that's so weird. It's been such a weird year because, like, you're right. I'm on a label. When did that happen? What's going on? It feels so hard and difficult to really appreciate a lot of these moments and shit. But anyway, so Everyday Deja Vu, I knew of Everyday Deja Vu for a couple years now. Obviously, they're a blog and shit. So I've read their articles and followed them for a minute. I forgot when they followed me, but I know for a minute they followed me as well. But anyways, so I remember working on Alchemy and just getting to that point where it kind of got to it was like this is a different project for me. Like this is not just 20 minutes of blah blah blah. I'm really rapping I recognize I am getting better at rapping. It has a lot
Yeah.
of direction to it, like because I remember me and Chow, the idea was just to drop it. Like, we're just going to make it and drop in like a month. But I remember telling Chow, like, nah, bro, this is different. This is kind of, we need to build a little something here. um, yeah, so I just started having ideas. I'm like, I'm just going to try to send it to people, see what happens. Send it to Deja Vu. And they were like the first people to really be like, we got you. We're going to listen to it. And I remember Ryan was like, bro, this is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ryan told me, like, we've been listening to you for a while now, but this is definitely like, where the fuck did this come from? And I'm like, yeah, same, bro. I don't know. Yeah, so Ryan heard it. I think me and Chow got the project done in September or October last year. So Ryan probably heard it around that time. Yeah, so he was just like, yeah, we're going to keep an eye out on this. And he kept his word. I remember he covered one of the singles from it. He was always telling me, like, he would randomly hit me up, like, yeah, we're still listening to Alchemy. Like, I can't wait till it drops. Yeah, so they were big supporters of it. So that alone, just initially planting the seeds for that, it was like, okay, like, this is super cool. This is a blog that I'm a fan of right for years, and they're giving me support. Awesome. So yeah, project drops, boom, boom, boom. around March of last year, Ryan hits me up. He was like, "Hey man, like hope everything's well. We're still loving Alchemy. You know, we covered it on the blog." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. I know." He told me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm planning a show. We have an open slot. We have enough time for another artist, and I really want to hear Alchemy live." He's like, "Is there any way you can make that happen?" And I was like, "Bro, hell yeah! What the fuck? Like, what?" Not getting into like too certain specific details and shit, like how I end up getting out there. But I was like, "Bro, don't even worry about some of this money shit. Like, I got you. Do the show. The show was amazing. That was my first time in Massachusetts. It was like, wow, I'm in a whole different world and shit. The air is cleaner. This is nice." And yeah, and then I remember just bodying the show. That was a really good show. And Ryan was like, "Yeah, like we need to talk later." I remember I was extremely high that night. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna talk, bro." And I just left. I just left, went to one of my homies' hotel for the night. I'm like, damn, I had to talk to Ryan about something. But anyways, go home. Ryan hits me up. He was like, "Yeah, man, like that was real good. Like that was real impressive. Again, I'm really liking Alchemy. So yo, like I just want to ask you, like, let's do something for this. Let's do something." And I was like, and he just asked. That's how that happened. He asked to make a deluxe version. I asked Chow if he's down with it. Chow was super down with it. And that all happened in May. Everything just happened in May.
Right. And you're like, I'm just like thinking about the difference between the two projects, but they also don't sound super
Right.
like I'm like they sound different enough. Like, like I think the beats on the original Alchemy are a little more like psychedelic for lack
Yeah.
of a better word. And
Yeah.
then like the new shit's a little more hard hitting and a little
Right.
more like uniform. Like Alchemy,
Yeah.
one of the cool things about Alchemy production wise is that it really is all over the place,
Yeah.
and like I love that about it. But it's just nice to kind of have the deluxe rein things in, and it's just like six hard hitters. So like
Right.
like talk to me about like going in to make the deluxe. Like what was the mission behind bringing that deluxe to life? Were you were y'all deliberately trying to make something a little more uniform, or did it just work out that way?
Yeah, it just worked out that way. I remember Ryan initially asked us for 3 songs, and I'm just like, I don't think that's enough, girl. So I was just gonna be like, we're gonna give you more songs. The first song on the deluxe, Cruise Pit, that's actually a song that didn't make the original Alchemy. That was one of the first beats Chow sent me. I'm just like, I want to give this a home. No, I like this song a lot. Boom, that's placed there. And yeah, the rest of it was just Chow just sending me beats that he was making at the time. He's obviously going to be a different person than he was when he was making a lot of the other Alchemy beats. So that's just really what it was. Just really how we're feeling in this current state of mind. Again, this shit got started in May and released in November. We really didn't spend too much time on it, honestly. We got it done fairly quick. But yeah, that's really just the beats Chow sent me. I think Chow sent me like 9 or 8 beats, and those are the ones I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like we're choosing these ones. And also the song with Jade, that song Summer Snowflake, she chose that beat for that too. That's how she ended up getting on it. I was just like, yo, rap on one of these, homie. She's like, I got you, like this one. I was like, all right, bet. I got to rap on any of them, just choose one. So, but yeah, just straightforward, no real direction, no real planning. It's just, yo, Chow, send me some of the best beats you got right now, brother. And he delivered as usual.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Like it's cool because I think about it in the sense that like I think about it in the sense of like Sifu and Anakin Smoke Break, how that's
Right.
like a whole
Yeah,
separate entity
exactly.
from Fly Sifu's, as
Right.
opposed to like here's the album with like 6 other songs attached, which like sure you could do that, but like this
Right.
is like it does kind of feel like its own thing, just kind of like an addendum or like a fourth act, if you
Right.
will, to the original project.
For
And
sure.
like it just sounds like a strong enough project on its own, which a lot of
Exactly.
deluxes don't always sound like that.
Right.
So
And yeah, that
yeah,
was definitely a goal of mine, just making sure as well. Like, all right, I don't want this to just be another Alchemy. Like, I do want it to be, just stand alone on its own. And I feel I delivered on that. I feel I did that. So, but yeah, that was definitely
uh,
the goal. Yeah, this is not just another Alchemy. It's not. This is another JUNECINEMA project with Chow Production.
right. And like y'all did great, and it sounds great. It feels great. Once it actually starts to get cold outside, I'm excited to really
Mm-hmm.
sit with that shit. But like I've been saying, like You know, like it's been a crazy year. You put out 3 projects. You're on a label now, and like building, slowly building clout, slowly building a name, slowly building experience. Like, you know, have you taken time to like sit with that yet, and just like how crazy the year's been, and like how do you feel about everything you've accomplished?
It's just I haven't really had a chance to really sit down and just be like, I've done more than enough for this year. Because it's well, unfortunately how life is and how everything is so fast and how it's all you got to go get it. The hustle mentality. It's hard to sit down
Yeah,
and appreciate. And I'm sure everyone feels that way, but it's hard to appreciate the magnitude of, damn, I've done the shit that people I've known will never do. I've done shit that some of my fellow artist friends will haven't done yet. But it's definitely crazy just to see like, damn, I really have grown a lot this year, and to see the growth and to feel the growth, to see people that I've never met before and meet me and recognize me and shit like that. It's wild, but at the same time, it's also just a thing where I can appreciate that. I'm obviously super grateful and honored for it, but it's also a thing where this is not where I want to be as well, though. It's still so much more shit to climb. So it's hard for me to like really sit down and appreciate because I'm always thinking, but there's still more. There's still so much more to go. There's still so much more to do. Um, but again, I'm definitely real. Just it's wild. It's wild, but there's still work to do. Shit don't stop. Unfortunately, is how I'm thinking. I'm just go 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 go. But I'm looking forward to continue to build on the amazing shit I've built this year. It's been the one. It's been the best year of my life, straight up. Like I've done crazy shit this year.
yeah,
I've
man.
got paid to rap in different states. That's fire.
Yeah, because it was Massachusetts and Maine was the other one, or Rhode
Uh,
Island.
I went to Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, and Portland this year, Oregon.
Got it. Okay. I
Yeah,
miss I missed the Portland shit.
I went to the West Coast. Like
Let's
time
go,
was
man.
3 hours behind. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. No, you were rapping live from the past, bro.
Literally, like
That
quite
that shit
literally,
is
like
different.
what the fuck? I feel like I'm missing a state too this year. I
That
don't
shit is
know.
different.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's still again so much more to do. There's still so much
Yeah,
more to
man.
do. And
Yeah, but like,
I'm so inspired to do more as well. That's also the thing too, where like I don't want to sit down at all. Like it's still so much. Like I'm looking at someone like Wise Boy Germany right now. Shout out to him
yeah.
and Curdy, Pumpkin Seeds. It's
Hmm.
just like they really hearing that shit and like talking to them in real life and hearing like how it kind of built upon. It's like, damn, I need to do shit like that because a nigga like me, I'm real quick with music. Again, me and Chow, we finished Alchemy in like 4 or 5 months. ALCDELUXe was like 2 3 months. I work fast, but hearing Pumpkin Seeds is like I could tell y'all put work and years and sweat behind this. Like I
Hmm.
want to do some shit like that, where it's like you can really feel and hear the world around it.
Yeah, and Lee, and yeah, like having Jeremy on to talk about that. Shout out to Jersey's
Shout out to
finest.
Jeremy, facts.
Why,
He's
why, 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 why's boy fucking Jeremy? But
one
yeah,
of the
no, like
goats.
but yeah, like talking to him, and like he's very much in the same. He's just in the same boat as you are. Just wants to
Right.
like. He was telling me about how like this is like how like this project's a year old, and he's already
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in a new space, and he's excited to like record from that. Like it's
Right.
but I just don't want y'all to not be able to see the forest for the trees, and be able to
Nah, that's
like
right.
pause for a second and
Nah,
just be like,
yeah.
damn, I did a lot,
Nah, yeah. That's
you
something
know?
too. That that's something I've had to do. Was I'm grateful to have a lot of older artists tell me. I don't call niggas old, but artists that have been doing this longer from me told me that too. Like you've done a lot this year.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jesse the Tree, shout out to Depsy,
Hmm.
shout out to KI
Hmm.
the Nine,
Yeah.
shout out to fucking everybody. Shout out to yeah, shout out to all the artists I've met this year who just told me like, nah, you're on the right path. Like we see you're doing the right thing, bro. It's just like damn, like I listen to y'all niggas. This is crazy.
Yeah, nah, and now you're like commiserating with these people, like
Yo, literally
these are your peers and your community, and that's like you once again can't put a price on that, man.
can't
Like
put a
you work
price on it.
you work to get here, so
Literally.
you
Yeah, it's
know,
crazy.
damn. Um, this has been great. I feel like we could go for like another two
That's what I'm
hours, but
saying.
like, yo, but to formally wrap this and bring it to a close, Jay, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
Oh man. Oh shit. Oh man, my life would definitely be my movie would definitely be a slice of life movie for sure. Oh man, oh yeah, slice of life, mad, a lot of drama into it. Oh, it'd be a little bit of horror aspects in it. I had a little fucked up life, honestly. Man, my life would just be just a fucking real humble ass movie, man. It's a movie how a young ass kid didn't do fucked up shit growing up. I don't know. It'd be like a mixture of Dope, Juice, and Friday, I think.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that because
yeah.
all three of those are different types of movies.
Exactly, exactly.
So, but like it's like very, like very coming of age, like some
Yeah,
funny stuff, some sad stuff, some
exactly.
fucking, but like it just resulted in like, like
It worked out, right?
not even just good art, but just like it passed the time. I feel like
Exactly.
I feel like the biggest point of Friday is like it passed the time.
Hmm.
Like it
Right.
like it really did go from like the morning to the night
Exactly.
to the next
Exactly.
day. Like it
Right.
really kind of chronicled, stuff like like that's and like that's kind of how you could look at all the stuff you dropped this year, just having
Hell
kind of be
yeah.
like a day cycle. I don't know.
Nah,
I'm
you
getting
on it.
esoteric with it.
Exactly. Nah, that's exactly
Like,
what it is, though. Right. Alchemy is the morning. Pure magic is the afternoon. Perseverance is the night.
let's
Alchemy
go.
Deluxe, Alchemy is the midnight. It's the next day.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
word.
no,
Facts.
it's fucking 2 a.m. for you,
It's
bro.
2
It's not
a.m. Exactly.
it's but yo, Jay, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for
Thank
taking the
you,
time,
bro.
man.
Oh
Like it's
no,
like
thank you. It's an honor to be here. What the fuck?
oh man, like
I could say it. What the fuck?
I
I made
yeah,
it.
I'm just I'm happy you wanted to come on. Like I don't take that for granted, especially considering like I don't know, like you're dope. You make dope music and it's always cool to be able to talk about it's always cool to be able to talk to people about the art they make and
Nah,
how just like I never take it for granted when anybody wants to come on here, like because it's
nah,
especially because it's just me. So
right.
like
Nah, man, then honestly, and for
yeah.
real, the feeling is mutual. You're a legend in your field. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you're a legend. Been reading a lot of your articles since God knows when. Like, come on
Yeah,
now.
man. That that
Like
that that
what?
that means so much. It's so weird to think about that, but it means the most. I'm just, like
Absolutely.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy I say anything that connects with people. It's
Is that and
crazy
that's
that
all
people.
it is.
It's crazy that people give a shit about what we do, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Like
And
it's really wild, you know.
that is the most affirming part of it. Like you really give it meaning. I was telling one of my
Yeah,
homies the other day, it's like, bro, you don't realize this, but literally every day there is at least one person listening to you. I don't
yeah,
give a fuck if it's one of your homies or someone in Afghanistan. There is someone out there that listening to you for the first time, been listening to you for
yeah,
years, and like we've really again just built a whole world of just being ourselves, and
yeah,
it's awesome to just see where we're going to take this because each day is getting more clearer. Each day is like it's a collapse of an empire and a lot of music shit right now, and it's a lot of
right.
doors that are about to be open. Like I'm telling my friends, you gotta be focused, yo, because the next
Yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah,
we're there. Like we've been on a lot of these stages that we've been there as fans. Like
yeah, yeah,
someone's
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Someone like Shamar is at Wonderville all the time, and it's like I remember meeting Shamar at a Wonderville show. And it's like I could talk about this forever. It's so
Yeah.
cool though. It's so cool.
Yeah. All this shit was practice, bro. This is
For
like
real. It
it's
really
really
is.
it's about to be game time.
Exactly, exactly. Right. Check in, coach. Lock in.
Come on, son.
Come on.
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.